That's respect to those people that are eager and out there and have that humility to say, hey, you know what, I want to learn. I'm eager. Whatever I can gain, whatever I can be a part of. Like, you need those people because look, when things build up, then it gets great, and you know you were a part of that.
The team.
That's when it goes back to that day one stigma.
Yes.
Because a lot of people like, if you wasn't with me day one, going through the struggles that I went through, then I can't really share the success.
Yeah.
What up, world, and welcome back to another episode of the Hot Seat Podcast. I'm your host, Trees Trims, signing on, screaming, go get the money. I'm in the building with a very special guest today, man. This brother is not only my friend, I consider him my brother. My brother, you know what I mean? And when you say that, it's supposed to mean something. I really do believe that. But this brother right here is a video creator. He is a marketing specialist. And on top of that, he's into the arts. And when I say that, I mean MMA. And when I say MMA, I mean mixed martial arts, which means he's not only smart, but he'll put them paws on you. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, my man straight from San Diego, California. I got Ryan Alexander in the building, man. AKA Brotha Ry.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, welcome to the show, man.
What's
up? Thank you for being here, brother.
Man, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up today. Because a lot of times we get right into this one particular question. But before we do that, I want to check in with you, man. Where are we at mentally? Where are we at in our personal space? Where are we at in our business space? How you feeling, man? Mentally, how you feeling?
That's a good question, dog. That's a really good question. You know, overall, mentally, in business and everything, I'm sound. And you know, I'm glad that you asked that too, because like, you know, within the last probably year or so, I've definitely gone through or been going through a mental inventory, a personal inventory, a health inventory, business, and all those things. I think it's important to like do that all the time. But I kind of did it not intentionally. It was like life happened. It was like, let me, you know, get sound, and that's where I'm at now. So in my mind and in my family and in my lifestyle and in my business, you know, everything is very sound, and I'm focused in. I'm really dialed in right now on all that. So like, yeah, I'm taking the time for myself mentally. I'm taking the time for myself physically, with my family, with the homies, with everything that I value. You know, I'm really like letting those things pour into me as I pour into them. And then the other bullshit, bro, I cut that off.
That's off.
That's out. That's out.
So we created a new balance where it doesn't involve the bullshit's out. So I don't gotta balance that.
Right.
And now the real focus is there.
Because it'll be
family and business and personal.
It's funny you brought it up too. Like I've been, so I started listening to this podcast, not this podcast. I started listening to this podcast when you dropped the podcast straight. But I started listening to a podcast a while ago with Eric Thomas and some other brothers on there, and they talked about something that I kind of like took for myself, and it's called what they call the 5 pillars. And so I formulated based off these 5 different areas, kind of what I want my life to look like, what I'm doing, and how I want things to go. So, you know, I have my family, I have my, for me, film, fitness, and that includes like my martial arts and stuff, finances, and focus. Those are the 5 things that like I'm really keeping my mind on those different things, and everything that I do or spend my time in or invest in has to be kind of one of those things, you know, or 2 of them or 3 of them, but it's all based in that. So like, yeah, bro, I've been like really just living into that recently, and it's, damn, bro, it's made a big difference in family.
That's crazy because you know what? this pastor told me,
Yeah.
you know, he was like, it's a couple of F's. It's 3 F's that you need to be on track with. Like especially this was more geared towards a marital space or relationship wise, right? He was saying it's family, it's finances, and it's faith.
Right.
So like that kind of breaks down the same balance of what you're saying.
Right.
And if you can put your energy and everything you have into those spaces, it creates a good balance for your lifestyle.
It does, and it keeps you on track. And then even like for your relationship, my wife, my lady now is like, okay, he's doing these things. I can help support this. You know, like our wives or our women, our significant others, they want to follow us. But if we're all over the place, they're gonna be like,
I can't figure it out.
I'm gonna let him do that, and I'm gonna stay right here. But now, you know, with these pillars and with this attitude and with this mindset, she's getting involved. She's doing these things, and they're our pillars for our family. You know, so it's like, to your point, like it works for a relationship. It works for these types of relationships. It works for our business, our homeboys, all that. Like, I mean, you know, that's a big thing to me. I want to be a righteous, honorable brother. You know, I want to continue to be that. And in order to do that, I got to let my no be no, my yes be yes. I got to practice what I preach.
You got to stand firm.
My word is bond, 10 toes down, you know, and in those things now, that's where I'm at, you know. So, bro, I mean, that pastor brother, whoever was telling you that is onto it. That's
I keep that with me, man. I definitely keep that with me. So, you know, we're doing a podcast, man. You know, it's easy to just jump into a conversation without knowing exactly who you're even listening to. Like now, we're in this space where we're 2 known names to the world internationally. So, like, I like to ask people this question to start the show, which is, who are you?
Yeah.
And I think I didn't bring you on here to say the same thing that I'm saying, which is like, oh, he's a video creator and marketing. We'll get into all of that. But I just want to, you know, people to get a genuine idea of who Brotha Ry is. I really feel like you already broke it down with the pillars and the structures. But that is a question that we start to show with, so I have to do that. Who are you?
I love that question. And I'm gonna break it down too. So I'm, you know, social media, I'm Brotha Ry, you know, but actually people call me that because of the relationship that I have with them, and that's because that's part of who I am, you know. So when you ask who I am, I'm a man of God. I'm a proud black man of God. I'm a leader. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a martial artist. Those are all the things that I am. And then, like, to your point, you're right. What I do. You know, I do video creation, I do content creation and marketing, I do media and all those types of things. I do sales, but that's like my trade. You know what I mean? And I like what you're saying, because who I am, you know, that's the Brotha Ry, that's the leader, that's the man of the people, that's the
father,
the husband, all that, you know. So, like, I love the way that you asked that question, and I've seen, you know, a lot of episodes where people, you know, are defining themselves by what they do, and that's something that more recently I'm separating, because what I do is what I do, but who I am is who I am, and that's who you know. That's who you get to have that relationship with. That's the brother who comes in the shop like, hey, what's up? You know, that doing video media marketing ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Or when my daughter comes to me and says, "Daddy, let's play," you know, that. Me making media, me doing sales, and ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, my wife doesn't love what I do; she loves who I am. So, I'm glad you asked that, because that's who I am.
And the biggest reason that I do try to ask that is because, you know, I noticed that because I watch a lot of podcasts too, you know, and so one of the podcasts that I watch is I Am Athlete.
Oh, that's a good one.
And so I would notice that a lot of them would talk about the struggle of making the transition from the NFL into the regular world.
I like where you're
and
going.
A lot of it had to do with like their title or who they were in the league.
That's real.
Right?
That's real.
So when you retire and you detach yourself from that title and all of those stats and all that stuff.
Say that.
You still got to know who you are.
Say that.
Right?
That's real.
So, and I think that's where a lot of these brothers are struggling because, you know, it's a certain status and a certain everything that comes with that. And I want everybody to know, like, if you are an athlete or you're an entertainer or whatever, and you ever been great, you are still great. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're still great. Even when you walk away from that sport or whatever it is, we still hold you to a certain standard.
Yeah.
So you should be able to go back to that family and be that dad and be that son and be that husband.
I love that.
That they were kind of missing when you had to take the time to isolate and get to this greatness.
Right.
So with that being said, man, let's just always realize that our titles don't define who we are. And we have to know who we are in order to move forward, like in any element.
And it wasn't always like that for me too. You know, this is again something within the last few years that I've like come to that realization, you know, because I don't know if it's an American thing or if it's our culture or whatever, but a lot of times our identity is trapped in what we do more than who we are. Mm-hmm. So like if, you know, I'll just, you know, be real transparent. There was a period of time where I wasn't acting. You know, I wasn't actually doing any acting. I was selling media, selling videos, making videos, but I wasn't the actor. And I began to like struggle with that because I started like, man, I wanted to view myself as an actor, you know, and it started to bother me. And then I really had to do, again, self-inventory, bro. Do that self-inventory, get your mind right.
Yeah, check in on yourself.
Yeah, and then I sat back like, man, I'm still an actor. I just haven't acted this year. Or I'm still this, I just haven't done that. Or
especially in a space of like acting.
I know, bro. Yeah.
You can't be expecting the roles to just coming in like
that, baby. I
know you do. And that's the thing, like at the time that it's meant for it to happen, you will want. But we can't get discouraged when things aren't happening on our time because it's not our time.
And it's still going to happen in time. But in the meantime, you are still a uniquely made individual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had to come to terms with that. I'm like, man, I'm not acting, but these people are still coming to me all the time to help them with this or to help them with their marketing or help them with this. Or people are still coming to me because I'm funny or they just want to kick it.
Just want to hang out.
You know, that's where our identity should be. You know, so like, I love the way you asked that question, and I love the fact that you're seeing it as that and breaking it down for people too, bro, because like
I usually just ask who are you, and I don't never really tell people why.
Yeah, you know, brother,
but I be wanting to know, like, do you know who you are?
Right, and some people don't.
Because the thing is, I struggle with it for myself. Like, I'm a barber, I'm this, I'm that, but no, like, who really are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, people want to know.
Right, because look, there's other barbers out there, but people come to you because of your spirit, because of the man that you are, the leader that you are, the father that you are. It's fun. It's you know, you're dressed fly, so I get fashion, this, that, all that kind of stuff. You know, I feel like we need as a people, especially our community of black people, need to get back to valuing that kind of stuff more. Because what was Malcolm's job? But we know who Malcolm was. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, a teacher or a speaker or something, but he was righteous, he was a leader, he was diligent, that's what
his job was to create change.
Right, by any means necessary, with who he was, you know? Yeah, so like, that's something that more recent for me that I'm like, you know, when someone's asking for something, for sure, I'm a marketer, I'm an actor, I'm a videographer or whatever. But like right now you're dealing with Brother Ry, and I'm just a real brother who's right here, wants to have a great conversation with you and affect and change, you know, cause some change or inspire you or something.
Right.
You feel me?
And I think that's cool, cause especially in like, if say like for actors, I heard Method Man saying that there's like some roles that he's had to try out for. Yeah. And then there's other roles where he, you know, they basically know they want you for this role.
And that's real.
But they don't just give you the role, they still go out to have lunch or dinner or something with you. Right. And it makes it more personable so I can connect with you about who you are personally, outside of what I think you can do for that. And I think, you know, we got to get back to like valuing people for who they are and not for what you think they can do for you or what do you think they're great at or whatever. Not everybody's great at something. Maybe they have potential and you gotta see that and kind of help them see that through. You know what I'm saying?
Here's another side of the coin we never talk about. How many people are, you know, something, whether they're an actor or a videographer or a barber, but they're pieces of shit. And
but
and
like, we didn't even include that.
We didn't even include that, but like that's a part of the culture too. Oh man, he's killing it, but he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Horrible to his family and his kids hate his
cheats on his wife.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, who are we? We're not. I don't want that. So like, we do need to value again the people that are doing these things and in our community. So yeah, man, awesome question. But I respect that, bro.
Okay. Definitely, man. I mean, I usually feel like we're gonna be on the same page. Yeah. And then if we ever aren't, it's because maybe I'm at that point where I'm learning something new, or the same with you. You know, vice versa. Yeah. So I think that's dope. Obviously, we met through the barbershop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that was a minute ago.
Yeah, I've been in the barbershop. I think I've been a master or not a master barber. I've been in the barbershop for like 8 years. I met you
right before you were a master, right?
Right, yeah, I was still an apprentice. Yeah. I was still an apprentice.
Yeah.
And you were Ian's client.
Yeah.
Shout out AKA Goldfinger.
Shout out to AKA Goldfinger. I told
man.
you, baby, we got you.
Hey,
love
man,
you.
love to you, man. You know what? I ain't shouting out too many Marietta barbers either, you know what I'm saying?
That's the one though, right?
Too many, but if you know, everybody know AKA Goldfingers, man. So shout out to my brother, big salute, man.
For sure.
You one of the realest, man, and I know that because we got that type of relationship.
Yeah.
I took the time to figure it out,
right?
And vice versa. So. Yeah, we met in the barbershop and, you know, through transition, you know, there was times where you would go to me, there was times you would go to Ian.
He was gone, remember?
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, not to put any bits. Sometimes we gotta go take a vacation or we gotta go have a sit down. Yeah. So, you know, there was times where, you know, that happened and then that's when that happened.
Yeah,
so
I met you,
Now, I think the coolest thing was, and this is a good fun fact for barbers right here. There's clients coming. If you work in a barbershop, there's going to be clients coming in. Every client that comes in is not only focused on his barber, he's also paying attention to, in case my barber's not available, who can I go to? Yeah. Who do I think I have the best connection or conversation with?
Right, that too.
Somebody that I think, you know, handles his business correct, whatever it is.
Right.
All of this plays a big part in your success in being a good barber or a successful barber.
Yeah.
So I think the way I carried myself and, you know, the conversation and different things was what really helped develop our relationship. Because we already, without you being in my chair, already had somewhat of a connection.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was just a good fun fact because there's a lot of barbers that's jumping in the game. They want to make the money right now. They want to charge what somebody been charging. Like if you've been cutting for 15 years, don't charge the same thing as me if I just started. Like,
right.
9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna be giving the quality.
For me and connecting with you, it was the quality, obviously, of the cut, but it was also the time. You know what I mean? Because I go to the shop every week, you know? And I don't go every week just because I need a cut. You know what I mean? I go every week because there's so many different people that are in there and the community aspect. You know, you hear the conversations, you get to chop it up with this person, old head, young head.
You get to vent, you get to give advice,
everything.
You get to take advice,
everything.
You get stylists, you get counseling, you get all that stuff.
Prayer.
So when the barbers is charging with their bar and they real good, you have to realize it's a lot more that goes into that.
Yeah, because you're a therapist, you're a stylist, you know, you're doing all these things, and that's why, you know, I started vibing with you, and it was like, oh, Brother Tree. Now, you forgot to mention that your boy, I got the nappiest hair in the valley. I'm gonna be honest. It was a hard cut, and it took us some time, baby.
Took us some time. If you're late, it ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
If I'm late, you ain't gonna work.
Bruh,
look, we need a full 45 minutes.
At least
an hour to get Brotha Ry. And I'm a fast barber. I've sped up a lot.
Not for me though.
But not for Brother Ry.
I got them Hebrew roots. It's the Hebrew roots, bro. That's what it is. Tree. We found that out later on.
No, and that was crazy because you did the 23andMe,
yeah,
right?
Found out.
Real found Hebrew out, roots. Man. You had the real Hebrew roots.
Shout out to the tribe, man. For
real.
Yeah,
man. We got some tribe talk coming forward too.
Yeah.
So
but that's how we connected. Definitely,
yeah.
It was in the shop, and we hit it off, and for years, you know, I was going over there too, because I was living in Temecula still, and driving up to Menifee for the camp. And it was.
And one thing that I thought, not to cut you off, but this is when I knew the connection was like really big because there was a time where, you know, I'm trying to build the Underdog brand.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, man, we're gonna do this shoot out here, and then we're gonna shoot up, and I think it was a pop up after that or something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, man, I need somebody that can, you know, capture this.
Yeah.
And you and your wife came out and you guys assisted us, whether it was behind the camera or putting on the shirt and modeling it or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You guys was there for us, like, to do that, and you know, I had my lady with me as well.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. But this was the point where I realized that I was probably around one of the most genuine people that I ever known. Is because he went from being in front of the camera to being behind the camera. Yeah. And I said something like, yo, I need that shirt. And I don't know or give me that shirt or whatever it was, but I was insinuating like there was a shirt in the car that I wanted to get. But you thought that I was like talking about your shirt, and you literally took the shirt off your back
right there, bro,
to give it to me.
Let's get it.
And I was like, is this guy kidding me? Now I don't know if it's because he wants to show off your muscles, because he was buff, or what it was. But I was like, damn, that boy's giving me the shirt, literally giving me the shirt off his back at a photo shoot where, like, the clothing brand is my brand. Like, I should have shirts. And I did, but you were willing to give me that shirt. And I really love that, man, that story, man. I really thank you for that. Even right now. That shows, like, who you are, man. So, you know, I thought that was super dope. I thought that was
it was cool, man. It was a good opportunity to do that. And then remember, too, we have some connections that are deeper than just us.
Yeah.
You know, some people that you knew back from Oceanside.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of my big
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so we.
You're right. So shout out to, let's shout them out, man.
MJ.
Yeah.
You know?
MJ.
MJ.
Shout out to my boy MJ. Jared Allen.
Yeah, Jared.
Another brother that we connected. He's been on episode 12 of last season.
Yeah.
Big blessing.
Big homie,
So it really shows that birds of a feather do truly flock together. Like, because I'm from Oceanside, California.
Right.
I came up here, everything was new to me. Everybody that I met was not someone that I connected with.
Yeah.
There was only certain connections made outside of the people that I still rock with from day one when I met them in Oceanside or Vista in that area. So, man, it's hard to make genuine connections with people because some people are looking for something. Some people are trying to,
and it's hard to tell who's real. It's hard to tell. That kind of
trust,
cool about
all that
trust who's real, but that kind of knowing them and being connected with them and knowing them and not knowing you as well, but then them being able
connecting
to that checked me out. That was a background check.
That's how I felt.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I felt
too. MJ and Jarek and to be blessed by them, or to have been able to bless them, or whatever, and however, and for them to be clocked with you, that checked.
Two people that I still connected with right now.
That's my background check. So, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, you mess with. Oh, okay.
Oh, so he ain't never did no bullshit, huh?
Right,
okay, I like that. Yeah, I like that. So, all right, we're gonna take a little transition.
Let's get it.
All right. Now, I want to first get into what I'm most interested about.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm getting into this content creating space or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I know that writing.
Yeah.
Acting.
Yeah.
Filming.
Yeah.
Modeling.
Yeah.
Even editing are things that you have experience in.
Yeah.
Omega Vision.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Let's say that.
Okay.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And we want to look at it like the next up and coming Lionsgate or
That's what's up,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and name drop over.
Yeah, that's right. They ain't paying.
But y'all know Tyler Perry, you know whatever.
Yeah,
And if they had me on set, the haircuts be way better. So
way
I'm gonna plug myself
on,
the hot seat, put me on the cut. You know what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Take that.
You know, but shameless plug. But anyway,
yeah.
Let's go into talk to me about your inspiration. Where did you get started?
Yeah.
What are you more comfortable with? What are you most comfortable with as far as is it in front of the camera? Is it behind the camera? Is it actually writing out and directing what's gonna happen? What is it? What got you into it? And then we can kind of just talk about all those different areas.
Yeah, I like that. So what got me into content creation, it started off really with film, my love for film. And I kind of fell into acting, to be honest. My senior year in high school, I got transferred over to a private school my last year. I was getting in trouble and doing, whatever. And I couldn't play sports at the time because of the transfer situation. So it felt like, what am I going to do? I hit it off with one of the teachers at the school, and she was like, I think you can do this acting thing. And I was like, whatever, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And I was still kind of on the fence of trying to find where it was and where I needed to be. So I did the play, right? And all the while, I was still kind of living a totally different lifestyle. Ended up getting into some trouble, getting into some stupid funk as a kid or whatever. After doing the play, I moved to Atlanta. And then while I was in Atlanta, that's when I fell in love with the craft of acting and film and like making.
What was it though? Like being out there, what was it that made you wanna?
It was a woman, Natasha Garcia, and AGI. It was an acting school out there, a small acting school that she was passionate about awakening people's gifts, you know what I mean, and gifted in that. And she changed my life because she taught me how to see things from an actor's perspective, how to think like a creator, how to break down scenes and do all that kind of stuff. And
she gave you the game.
She gave me the game, and I'll always credit her for that as the first one who gave me the game. She was managing me lightweight. She hooked me up with my first agent. Like, I was juiced, and she plugged me in. And
how old were you at this time?
20.
Not to cut you off.
No, I was like 20, 21. I was young.
So like fresh out of high school, couple years out of high school.
Young. I was working selling at Nordstrom's and stuff and she introduced me to that, and I was like, this is everything. So fell in love with the craft, and then moved back to LA to go to film school. And that's where I got more of a technical.
What film school? Just shout it out.
Yeah.
I want to talk about all this.
Yeah,
right?
no.
So what film school did you go to when you was?
I went to the New York Film Academy in Hollywood.
Okay.
And it's a conservatory. And at the time we had some excellent coaches and teachers there. So I learned acting from like the groundlings, from people who were in Sanford Meisner's class. So if you know acting, Meisner's one of the forefathers of acting, of like naturalistic acting. So I studied with somebody who was in his actual class. So like leveled up in a way that I never imagined. And then from there, I was really like getting into like just the production side of it. Living in LA, kind of partying, doing the whole lifestyle thing or whatever. Getting like little gigs here and there, nothing crazy. And then I ended up moving back out to the Temecula area because I was a starving actor in LA. And I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
Because in LA, and that goes back to what we were saying earlier, what goes to the titles. Because every time I'm in LA, people are like, well, what do you do? And it's like, immediately, I don't feel like you want to connect with me.
Yeah, right. What is
all you worried about is what I do.
What I do, right.
And if I did something that well, then you would recognize me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm still on my grind.
Yeah.
Can you respect the brother in that space?
Right. No.
Or should I have to lie to you?
You should.
Or do I got
to
tuck my tail back? I gotta lie.
They want you to lie.
Right.
They want you to lie. Or, and then what if you're like, oh, I make bottle caps and I'm a multi-billionaire. Oh, I can't do nothing with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you gotta be in entertainment. So it was weird. I was doing the starving actor thing, getting little stuff here and there for little to no pay. Anyway, so I moved back out to the Temecula area. And when I came back, I had like these visions, and this is where Omega Vision really kind of started, the concept of it. I started really wanting to make things, and make things for people, make things about the people that I knew. I got like really inspired to kind of create stuff. and not acting though. It was weird. I was writing stuff. I was like trying to shoot things and fumbling through different projects and stuff.
No, when you, and not to cut you off, because you're giving me a lot, and I love this, man. But I know what people be thinking when they watching this, so I want to know, like, okay, so when you started getting this energy and this motivation to start writing this stuff, where was the inspiration coming from? Like, what do you think about when you sit down and say, I want to create this film, or I want to write this script or whatever? Like, what is that? You know what's
funny? It'll start in different ways. Like one time I wrote, the first script I wrote, it started with a scene that I kept seeing in my head. I could not stop seeing this scene in my head. Looped. And I'm like, who? Okay. So I wrote the scene. Then I'm like, who is this girl? Why is she here? Then I started writing her story. Then I'm like, who is this guy? Then I start writing his story. Then I'm like, how did they get here? Then I start writing that. Then I start writing all these things. And then so for some stories, I reverse engineered it from just a scene. For other stories, I'll think of a theme. Like, man, I want to tell something about this community. So I'll start breaking down characters that are like about this community. And then I'll tell a story that way. For some things, it just might be a product, and I'm thinking like, man, I wish that I would be able to talk about something like this, and I'll write a commercial. So it just started being like weird stuff that like would come to my head, and I had to get it out, But then I'm like, I was sitting on some of this content. So that's when the sales aspect in me kind of started kicking in.
The marketing, the sales.
And that's when I was like, you know what? I want to make stuff, and I want to make money. And I don't need to be in everything because I want the message to get out there, or I want people to know about this product, or people to know about this business. Mm-hmm. So I'll do the behind the scene thing to kind of stay around it. And that's when I started hitting it hard, selling video content to people, going to people and helping them with their ideas for this. Let me make this commercial for you. Let me help you with your business. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then the creative juices were flowing, and then I started falling in love with production as a whole. It wasn't just for me to act anymore. And
so all that legwork kind of created like this brand for yourself, like where you knew what you were good at and how you could help people in certain ways and all that stuff.
And then there was some trial and error. I'm not gonna.
No doubt.
There was some shit that I was like, I shouldn't have shot that part.
You was like, I'm doing too much.
What we're gonna do next time is we're gonna get a videographer in here to truly, or some things I edited.
What I was thinking.
Look, there's some things that I've edited that I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pay for this one for you. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
so big salute to our videographers and our editors and all that stuff. Man. We really, it's everything's a piece to a puzzle.
Yes.
So if you play your part very well and you're that one piece, and then everybody plays their part and brings this. Now you got a great picture of a puzzle put together.
And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn all that. So as time went on,
you just gotta shine in your little piece of the puzzle.
That's it. And then I was like, man,
this is a lot less stressful. What happened?
Yeah, right. And then it's like, man, like I didn't want to be like what Suge said, all in the videos, dancing. Look, bro, I'm like, man, I'm setting it up. I'm in it. I'm doing it. It was like, bro,
but at the same time, brothers like Spike Lee, that worked for him.
It does, and in the right spots. And it took me the time of like the trial and error to learn, like, okay, I'll act in this one in a small part. I won't even act in this one. Let's just make this commercial for this person, and I don't need to be in.
What was that role that made you say, all right, I'm ready to do this one now?
Shooting something for somebody. What was it? I shot something and I was like, dog, this is not good.
You was like, I gotta be in there.
Yeah, and it was like, man, no, it was me shooting a video for someone that made me like, man, you know what? I need to step back on doing too much for this one. You know what I mean? And it kind of caused me to like, let me find someone who's solid, who wants to shoot. And then once I found those other pieces, I started finding other actors. I started finding people who could shoot and edit and do these things with me. Like, I can do that on a novice to a intermediate level. But when it comes time to like really make something dope for a customer or for a business,
you don't want to waste somebody's time
and I want
or
to give
money
them the best product possible.
Yeah.
And that might not be with my hands on it, but that took a lot of humility in me to learn that. You know what I mean? And I think that's valuable for everybody. Sometimes you might not need to be the hands on the wheel, and that's okay. There's people that make great money and make their living off of just producing. There's people who make a living off of writing or this or that. So,
and even those people are working with the team.
Always.
So what it goes back to is a team, man. I've tried to do a lot of stuff without a team. I ain't gonna lie.
Too much.
But when I started doing this video stuff, y'all would have been having one angle on my iPhone.
Right.
And I wouldn't be editing nothing.
And it would take forever to come out.
Right.
It would be just too much.
I wouldn't be able to do this. I can't promote it all week. That's why,
and
that's
still
what
take
I
care
do.
of your family.
Right. I value my team, man.
Yeah.
We have operator bugs that's handling our, social media and our public relations.
Right.
We got Thunder Tricks. We got Monty that's able to shoot in videography and edit and do all this stuff. Yeah. And then I'm able to plug these guests, figure out the question, do my research, keep the flow going. Yeah. If I had to do all of that, I'll be winging it in this part.
And it gets crazy, it gets hectic. And then for me, I was, sales and delivery on a lot of this stuff. So I'm doing their website, I'm doing their videos, I'm doing their SEO, and then part of it too was like, well shit, if I'm doing all these things, bro, you might need to give me a cut on the percentage of this.
All the time.
Bro, I did your marketing, your video, your SEO, your this, your that. Yeah. So again, that self-assessment and that awareness caused me to like, okay, let me step back. I can charge at better rates and bring these people in. I can do this now. I can focus in on this. I can get better at that, or I can work on this. So now, for these different projects, I already know coming into it how I'm going to break it down. I have a solid team of people with me from video, editing, web design, graphic design, art, painting. I can get a sequential artist to come in here and draw a book. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a squad that's like a beast now. And now I'm comfortable and confident as the producer for this one. Oh, okay, you want me to act in this one? Cool, I'll act in that one. You need someone to write? Yeah, I'll write that. Oh, I don't like that script. Let me rewrite it. Now I can come in and switch hats instead of wearing all the hats.
You can literally turn into the DJ game.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So I think that's one of the biggest keys, man. There's no I in team, man.
Yeah.
Stop trying to do it all by yourself.
Yeah, you got to.
If you're one of those people that's out there you running a business or you're trying to get something going on your own, I commend you because you're starting somewhere.
Yeah.
But in the future, for your business to grow, you're gonna need a team.
And one thing too, I find this is true in our community a lot, and amongst the black men and amongst people, period, who have grown up without and then forced to do things on their own. We think that we always have to do things on our own. We feel like I can't trust this person, so I gotta, control it myself. And really that limits us and hinders us. We need people. We're designed to work with people. So
that's so crazy.
It's important. Yeah, and I had to say that because that's what it was for me. It wasn't as much like, oh, I'm good at everything, I need to do it. But it was more like, man, I gotta do this myself. I can't trust if this, or I can't trust. Some people are flaky as fuck regardless.
You can't change that.
No.
You have to acknowledge it and then be like, okay, I know I can't depend on them, but when they do come through, maybe it's amazing.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna meet you every Thursday.
I'm not gonna depend on that guy. But there is a guy out there who's hungry, who wants to be there every Thursday, who wants to be there Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. Really, but you gotta tell him like, look, bro,
we said we meeting at 6.
You know, at 5. I'm just here sitting in the car. There's someone out there.
In case you need something.
Man, and I've met those people.
And that's respect, though.
Yeah.
That's respect to those people that are eager and out there and have that humility to say, hey, you know what, I want to learn. I'm eager. Whatever I can gain, whatever I can be a part of. You need those people because look, when things build up, then it gets great and you were a part of that.
The team.
That's when it goes back to that day one stigma.
Yes.
Because a lot of people if you wasn't with me day one going through the struggles that I went through, then I can't really share the success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of us is just I. Because we want to say I'm self-made, I did it on my own and all that stuff. That's great. If you did something and you did it on your own, you still didn't do it on your own.
You did.
For one, there's a higher power that helps you.
Yeah.
For two, you're only here because of the higher power and your parents.
And three,
you know what I'm saying? There's some type of support system out there.
You're just leaving them out when
you're
you
leaving
tell
them
the
out
story.
and you're being disrespectful.
That's it.
With the self-made
Right.
stuff.
Come on, bro. Stop it. Everybody
ain't no
self-made. Come on. Tree.
Yes, sir.
You already know what it is, bro.
Yes, sir. this right here is just genuine support for something that's going on positive locally.
Yeah.
And like my brother Ryan said, he want to get people in there. You ain't got to be coming in trying to fight nobody or do whatever. Just come in for the training.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's not only that, but it's helping you keep yourself in shape.
Yeah.
Mental, physical, spiritual even.
Yeah.
It seems to me. So I'm gonna be taking that journey, and I hope you guys tap in with House of Pain. Come check them out, man, and join that experience, man.
Yeah.
For real.
House of Pain, Temecula.
Now, if I can get anything, man, just let me get some of them cool fight shorts.
Come on, dog. I got some
gloves or something.
Yeah,
I know
come
you got
on,
something for
come
me,
on,
man.
Tree. You already know, baby.
Love. All right, so what's next for Brotha Ry, man?
Yeah.
What's next for Brotha Ry?
Yeah, well, we just finished up a short film that I'm excited about because it's a new group that I worked on this one with. One of my dudes I've been working with forever, David Apodaca. Shout out to Apodaca. But yeah, we finished this one up. And I'm excited about it because it's the first one of a bunch that we're going to be doing. So this one's going to be coming out hopefully next month. We'll see. I mean, it's getting edited up right now.
Woo! Y'all heard it here first on the Hot Seat Podcast.
Yeah. And then also...
And if it ain't in a month, so what? Wait, and it's going to come. It's going to be good.
It's got to be
in a month.
Patient. We got to get that out.
Yo, we ain't working on different budgets like everybody else. We're trying to make this happen on our own.
Yeah. So we're chopping that one up. Yeah, we just and then also now I'm working with InfoSwell Media to do more SEO offerings. I've partnered with a
so break it down to us. What's an SEO?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, search engine optimization. So now I'm offering new packages and new deals and new plans to help people out to rank online with a partner who I've worked with in the past on some website stuff. So that is running now. We're getting that going and getting that out there. Well, it's going. So we got some customers rolling. So that's cool. And then yeah, dog, I'm just training right now. Just training to train. And then be there for the gym. So I'm focused in
training and teaching,
finishing the film, delivering these marketing to these people, and then staying sharp, dog. And that's what I'm doing right now. And so
covering all the pillars.
Covering the pillars, dog. I take care of my family first and foremost.
Yeah, off top.
Yeah, but
off top.
That's it.
Okay, so let us get the contacts, man. Let us get your apps and everything so everybody can stay involved. Whether it's, they need some marketing advice or some marketing work, or whether it's they want to get in the gym, or, they're trying to create some content and they need some advice or some plugs. Let us get your apps and shout them out so everybody can stay connected with you. Because my whole goal out of this is that you come on the show, then people that I know, or people that has been exposed to the show or listened or whatever, can use these resources to grow all of us as one. We're gonna all grow off of this. You're learning something. He's teaching something.
Right.
It's all a community. So let them know your apps, man.
Yeah. So at Brotha Ry is where you can find me on Instagram. If you're looking for any marketing or media services, you can always hit me up on there. You can also look at Fresh Scoop Media. It's a company that I partner with out here in Temecula.
Shout out Fresh Scoop.
Fresh Scoop, David Apodaca, got you, boy. So you can always check through that. But reach out to me and then I can get you taken care of through InfoSwell, Fresh Scoop, or whatever it is. And then for the training, if you're looking for just training, work, martial arts, boxing, health, fitness, House of Pain in Temecula. If you want that fade, House of Pain Temecula. But if you're just looking to grow and develop as a martial artist, or have fun, get in shape, House of Pain.
Or if you like me and brand new, don't know nothing, just want to come in here and get it in.
Yeah.
House of Pain, man.
House of Pain.
Shout out to them, man.
That's where I'm at. Other than that, I'm with my family. You feel me? So catch me there.
Yeah, I figured do you, man. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, share, make a comment. We are open to all of that. We want to react and get that going. Outside of that, man, you know what it is. Oh, I got a quote of the day.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's from Mike Tyson.
Ooh, say it.
Everybody's tough. until they get punched in the mouth.
Ooh.
With that being said, it's the Hot Seat Podcast. With hot guests and hot topics, man. We out of here.
Tree.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yes.
You already knew it. This
Yes, sir. Hey, I make it rain.